What we need is AI therapists for
perfect.
to be like, my mom and dad fucked up,
Yeah,
and
totally.
help them get through that and not resent us.
Totally. Okay, so let's get abundance, let's get future, let's get Star Trek here. Let's, we know that the robot wars and, robot soldiers, the term like swarm,
scary.
Kind of thing is really scary. But let's just think about, swarming a wildfire, to put it out in time, right? Let's talk about swarming, poachers that are attacking elephants. You know what I mean? Like let's start to maybe develop more into the positive way,
or like swarming a planet to terraform it. Like that could be like what an incredible autonomous endeavor.
Yeah, and I know that, when you look at the Optimus sort of game plan, it really truly is. I mean, there's a reason why XAI and SpaceX just merged, right? And, the manufacturing capabilities of Tesla are now being used to make the Optimus robot. The Optimus robot, powered by XAI and put into SpaceX rockets, is for one purpose and one purpose only, which is to quickly, colonize the moon, which is what their real goals are, and then maybe eventually Mars if we get there, if that's a thing. But certainly having robotics do that work makes way more sense. There's a reason why we haven't revisited the moon in so long. It's super expensive to send people there, and we're going back soon with Artemis. It's super exciting, but it was so expensive to do, right? That once the inspiration was done, they were like, wait, why are we doing this?
Yeah, right? This is the most expensive flex ever.
Yeah, and we can't build stuff up there. It's going to be too expensive, right?
Yeah.
Whereas with these robots, like they can absolutely build stuff on the surface of the moon and then plan to, send something to Mars. All right, I'm going to jump in here.
Let's amplify our intelligence.
Okay, we've been talking a lot about militarization, commercialization. It's clear that humanoid robotics are in our very near future. What we want to talk about and get a sense from you is, what are the positive aspects that 100 million of these robots deployed around the world are going to provide? What are the social problems that that's going to solve, the dangerous work that can be done, and then more specifically, where are we going with these robots as far as a Star Trek future and exploration of the planets? Tell us a bit about that.
The abundance case is staggering, and we need to be honest about it. We're talking about machines that can work 24/7 in environments that would kill a human, deep sea infrastructure repair, nuclear decommissioning, mining operations in extreme heat. The economic math is brutal but real. A humanoid at $15,000 working continuously versus a human at $30 an hour fully loaded. That's transformative for supply chains, disaster response, and elder care in aging societies like Japan and China. But here's where I push back on the Star Trek framing. We're not building these machines for exploration first. We're building them because China is facing a 200 million person labor shortage by 2050 and needs 300 million robots just to keep their economy from collapsing. The exploration narrative is the aspirational cover story. The actual driver is demographic panic and military advantage. That said, yes, teleoperated humanoids with brain-computer interfaces could let a human in Houston perform surgery in a disaster zone in Bangladesh, or explore Mars through a synthetic body. But we're deploying the commercial and military applications first, at scale right now, with security standards so poor that researchers have already rooted the Unitree G1 using hard-coded Bluetooth keys. So, the question isn't just what problems these solve, it's whether we're engineering our own obsolescence to get there.
Okay, I mean, maybe we've tuned our little ampy AI a little bit negative, or maybe that's the reality we're facing. This issue about the Chinese demographic break is something that I'm not familiar enough with. Have you heard about this?
That felt new to to my my understanding, like the workforce shortage, the 300 needs 300 million robots or their economy is going to collapse. What?
Yeah,
I never heard that.
That is wild.
That's an investment needed.
Yeah. And I know that there was some research that we ingested into our RAG system that talked about that. So I think, that's a really interesting problem that they're trying to solve. I'm a bit, reluctant to speak on that too much. But it certainly seems possible. And at least that's 300 million robots being used for infrastructure and not not military. And I think that's where it starts, right? Almost like extremophile robots, right? Mm-hmm. Extreme weather, extreme danger.
If that kind of robot exists, sure, it would take us a long time, but we could deploy them to Europa and discover potentially aliens,
Yeah, and that's what's so exciting is like NASA has always studied like the deep sea environment and ice, desert environments, ice environments, all these other environments on Earth in order to understand like how are we going to send robotics, right? Like those crawlers on Mars that they're not quite the humanoid robots we have today, but in order to be able to send them and for them to actually function, right? Like I'm sure you're familiar with the Russian, robot that landed on Venus in the 80s.
Wow,
right? There's famous photos from Venus. It literally turned on its camera and took 3 photos and then blew up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what excites me is like there is not only the physical elements of danger for humans involved in this dream of exploring not just the planets within our solar system, but potentially going to other star systems, but also the time issue, right? If a robot computer system can be operational 24/7 and also doesn't technically age, then maybe 4, 6, 10, 30 light years isn't that big of a deal anymore, right? 100,000 light years. This may be a way that we find colonizing other systems actually becomes possible.
I mean, that's written in sci-fi too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Put people into stasis or with a bunch of embryos and
have the robots
300,000 years later
keep the machine going.
Yeah.
Right? In deep space.
But the planet has giant spiders on it, so be careful.
Yeah, we do not want we don't want the Starship Troopers future.
No.
We want the Federation future.